As a reminder to our students, you must have your ID with you at all times. There will be many security checks throughout the building where your ID will need to present it if you are in the hallways after the bell. If you don't have your ID with you, you will be detained.
I see you're really good at math problems.
I like to work on challenging equations.
I'd like to capitalize on your math skills.
Okay, sure. Hey, you're not wearing your mask properly.
Oh, how do I wear it?
Over your mouth and nose.
Oh, okay.
NFA's fall musical production of MTI's All Together Now will take place in the auditorium at NFA North on the following dates: Friday, November 12th at 7, Saturday, November 13th at 2 and 7, Sunday, November 14th at 2 and 5, Monday, November 15th at 7. NFA is collaborating with South Middle School on this showcase, which features songs from the biggest Broadway shows including Hairspray, Disney's Beauty and the Beast, Newsies, Little Shop of Horrors, Rent, and more. Tickets can be purchased online at the link below. It is highly suggested that you buy tickets online in advance. Seating is reserved and socially distanced. Masks are required. In-person and live stream ticket options are available.
NFA will host an Instant Decision Day with Mercy College on November 15th and SUNY Orange on November 22nd. Registration in Naviance is required. Check your email daily for updates.
Winter cheerleading tryouts are November 15th, 16th, and 17th from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. at South Middle School. You must attend all dates. All athletes need an updated physical and must register on Family ID. Have a good day!
Hello, and welcome to Game Clock. I'm your host, Declan Welling, covering this week's sports news. The varsity football team took care of Monroe Woodbury last Saturday, beating them 27-14. The football team is now the top seed in Section 9. Coach Bianco took home the all-time record for wins, recording his 95th. Running back Eric Duncan ran for 144 yards with 16 carries and 2 touchdowns. The varsity boys soccer team lost to Warwick 2-0, becoming the runner-up to the Section 9 Class AA championship. Newburgh goalkeeper Andres Gilmeyer made 6 saves. Coach Iorlano completed his 26th season as head coach for the team. The varsity soccer girls lost 4-0 to Monroe Woodbury in the Section 9 AA title, despite 7 saves by Taryn Judson. The boys cross-country team placed 11th in the OCIA cross-country championship meet. The girls cross-country team placed 13th. In national news, Mets fans are fuming after the Atlanta Braves beat the Houston Astros in the World Series. Jorge Soler was named World Series MVP with 3 home runs in the series. The Knicks are starting the season strong with 5 wins and 3 losses. Jets' second-string quarterback Mike White filled in for Zach Wilson and threw for 405 yards and 3 touchdowns. Mike White was the first quarterback to throw for more than 400 yards since Vinny Testaverde. Aaron Rodgers is not playing this Sunday because he tested positive for COVID-19. Thank you for watching Game Clock, and be sure to tune in next week.
My name is John Eitri, and I am the Director of Career and Technical Education for Newburgh Free Academy. I do consider teaching literacy a major part of our Career and Technical Education department. Literacy is intertwined in every one of our subject areas. I'm going to use cosmetology as an example. Kids need to be able to understand how to use hair dye. They do chemistry, they do reading, they have to have good customer service skills, they have to have good math skills. Same as when they're working in an auto mechanics garage. They would also learn how to drain a brake line using algebraic equation. So they again reinforce what is being taught in our core classes. So literacy is extremely important. Speaking well also is a huge part of what we do. We do at times look at each one of our career and technical education areas and try to incorporate academics. But we don't do everybody's all at once. What we do is we look at, say, video programming, and we begin to teach kids more about mathematics within that. So we take some time, we really focus on the curriculum. We work with industry leaders if we can bring them in, and we ask them, how can we integrate literacy and writing skills and math skills into our curriculum? I feel an integrated learning environment such as ours is incredible, because the kids are in a school right now, currently, where we are at Newburgh Free Academy, at NFA North or Main or at West. The kids are seeing their core subjects mixed with the CTE courses. So the kids do see some relation. The problem is when we separate them into a new building, unless we integrate, guaranteed they're going to get those core subjects in their CTE classes in the new building. And this is becoming an issue for us because we are building a new building. So this is a very good question, actually. So how are we going to make sure literacy, reading, writing, math, speaking, are integrated when we separate these classes into a new program? Our best bet is to have that co-teaching model where those kids are right doing it in there. We're going to give them English course credit right in their CTE classes, or a math credit, or U.S. government. We're going to give them those credits when they enter into a separate building. Here, they get to say, hey, my subject right now, currently, is part of a regular building. So this is just as important as my core classes. They see a relationship. I don't want them to go to a separate building and say, well, this is my CTE skill. I don't care about those, my regular classes, as they call them. One of the best things we do to incorporate literacy in their skills is we actually take a curriculum map. So the teachers look at what is being taught, maybe month by month or week by week. And we look at, is this a heavy math week? Is this a skill week? Is this a week where they're looking at government? Are they looking at law? And how can we incorporate that integrated academics? So that's when we do bring in those core teachers and say, okay, we're looking at criminal justice right now. We're looking at a lot of law. But how can we get this to relate back to the U.S. government class they need to graduate? We may not teach core academics directly. We may say, this is your U.S. government class, and this is how we have the breakdown of our government. What we do is say, this is how we look at law within criminal justice, or we look at law within auto mechanics. What is the law? What legally, what do we have to do, and how do we have to approach those things in each one of those areas? We do see an improvement in literacy skills in our CTE classrooms, but we don't always see it in their core subjects as they do in their tests or Regents exams. A lot of times, kids that love a subject area, say it's architecture and engineering or nursing, will quickly enforce writing English or math skills within those. How do you calculate medications, or how do you draw using measurement and add those equations together to come up with a design and the right length of a design? What happens is kids are not crossing it over into their core subject areas. So our biggest challenge right now is, wow, why can you do this in a CTE class? Why can't you translate it over into your core subjects? To be honest, the appeal to integrating literacy in CTE is nothing more than getting these kids prepared for customer service. They need to understand what they're doing. So when a customer comes up to you and asks, why did you use the hair color that you used in the way you used it? Or how did you fix my brake line? Or how did you fix my transmission? They need to be able to communicate it, but it also relates back to their literacy skills. Can you explain why you did what you did? CTE courses have not always been seen as building literacy skills as they are now. People are seeing more now that we can really integrate these academics and it can benefit students. The main reason that is occurring is we're bringing in the core teachers into the classroom as much as we can. I believe a co-teacher would make our kids highly successful. So I look at our programs, and if I could use our video production program and I could bring an English teacher in to work with my teacher in video production, these kids are writing scripts all the time. They're building on their writing skills. If my vocational teacher in video production could have somebody assist him with building those literacy skills in writing, good grammar, and speaking, that would allow these kids to really succeed into all their English subjects. They wouldn't just see that, oh wow, English is important in the subject that I love, that's say video production. That they see that writing exists in everything they do and that these skills can be built in everything they want to do. I do not feel what we're doing currently is enough around literacy for our CTE students to bring it back into the workforce. We are preparing them in class to be good readers and writers within our subject area, but are they good writers and readers up and beyond the CTE course? It seems like kids that come into our vocational programs, be it be welding, criminal justice, any of them, they learn what they need to learn. Here's my example. I entered into an auto body shop one day, and this was last year, prior to the COVID disaster. I saw a kid reading out of a manual that, I have to be honest with you, I couldn't understand. This kid was able to read it out loud, understand it, and explain it to another group of students, and then fix something on a car. It just happened. It was a snow day, and we were going to call an early dismissal. I was up on the 3rd floor. I saw this same exact student in his English class. Now, I don't know what level it was. He wouldn't read for the teacher. He wouldn't read out loud. He threw a fit, ended up getting kicked out of the classroom. Why? Because he didn't feel he could read or write. But meanwhile, I just saw him a little while ago read something that, I have to be honest, I could read, but I couldn't understand, but he could completely understand. So it becomes this transition, and these kids can do these skills for us, but they don't believe they're literacy skills that go into the real world. They think it's only in their subject area. We have to let them see that they're strong and they can do anything with the skills that they're building. So we have to look at, yes, literacy is important, but how are we going to teach them that they can use it in every single aspect of their lives?